Let's check in with former Ambassador for International Religious Freedom, Dr. Susan Johnson. She's live with us now from North Carolina. Doctor, what are the conditions where you are now? Because the Asheville area, at least parts of it, truly going through incredible devastation.
Incredible devastation. It's good to be with you, Marina and Joe, again. I'm in Charlotte, and for the most part, Charlotte has been pretty secure. But yesterday, I'm speaking tonight for the United Missionary Baptist Association, and yesterday I was in Gastonia, which is the next town over. Many of the houses that were up on a hill just got washed away.
Wow.
And as we were driving from Gastonia to Charlotte, all of the rivers had certainly overflowed, and they were doing something I didn't know about. They're burning down the rivers to help them subside a little bit, because they had just become so volatile that they just kept going and going. But the friends and neighbors and family that I have here in North Carolina, my mother was from this town, in Asheville and Appalachia and another city called Rocky Mount, all of them are experiencing this devastation that we're seeing now. And many have not been heard from, and many can't, the first responders can't get to them. So it's not that they're not doing a good job. They're trying their best, but in many places, bridges and roads have been totally washed out and eroded. And so we're praying with them and certainly trying to get to the families that we have heard from, to trying to get the things that they need to help them.
There's a lot of the bridges.
You mentioned that you work for a Baptist organization. And I want to know how the church kicks in right now and says, all right, this is what we'll do. This is how we get busy. Right next to, the people who come from fire and all of the, the emergency workers. What do you guys do?
They're doing, in conjunction with emergency workers, a couple of things. They're getting supplies. Some homes are going to have to be totally refurbished, and they're making lists. They're having the people who are able to make lists of what they need do that, and they're collectively saying, come on, we just have to do this. We have to get the refrigerators, really almost everything that was inside their home. People who were small business owners like hairdressers and hair salons, they lost everything except a couple of wedges and scissors. And so collectively, they are working with the first responders, but there are many families that they know individually, and they were able to make contact with them, hear from them. Some are having shelter with other family members, because it's not just North Carolina. South Carolina is right underneath, and so people who've had family members in both places have brought them to Charlotte, where it's safe. I have relatives in Miami and in Georgia and in South Carolina and North Carolina. So people where they have safe shelter are bringing people and relatives and loved ones there. The church community is working extremely hard. It's not just about collecting money right now, because it's about actually being there for consolation and for the survival needs. Water. Basic things like water that we take for granted, making sure that children have a place to sleep because things have been flooded out. So many homes are going to have to be replaced on their interior, and they don't have time to wait for the insurance companies to get there. They're responding as fast as they can. But the pictures you're looking at right now are total devastation, and it's real. It's real. Yeah. We can't get to some people, and some people are just frustrated because they only have enough food and water for their babies to eat, and they're not sure what's going to happen day to day.
Unbelievable stuff. You talk about evacuation zones on the coastline. You don't expect in these valley towns, which is really what it is. When the dams broke, you places like Chimney Rock, just south there of Asheville, that have been completely shut off from the world because of a dam. They didn't really have a lot of damage from Helene itself, but it was the after effects there. Continue the good work
and the
there.
access and the access to and from.
Definitely.
So it's really devastating. I watched a family that has a 4-year-old girl, and they had just enough water to ration for her. They were starting to argue because there wasn't enough water for the 3 of them. And you see situations like that, and so until responders can get to them, it's a tough situation. They can't evacuate because they can't
get anywhere.
Dr. Johnson, we appreciate your time there in North Carolina. Keep us posted, and obviously continue to help all the people that need it the most in this dire, dire time. All right, in the meantime,